we can cut across. He's about to start addressing that. That's Mr. Goenka there on the screen. So we're waiting by. As he starts speaking, we'll just toss across. Remember, the Nifty is still below that 7,800 odd mark. The mid-cap index just holding mildly in the green. But Mahindra & Mahindra is a stock that we should be focusing on currently. So let's cut across to Mr. Goenka. I've been told that we can wait by for some more time, actually. So let's do a quick market check then. From the Nifty stocks itself, a couple of stocks that are doing quite well. Ambuja Cements has done quite well. There's a lot of selling that was taking place. So unconfirmed rumors that have been moving around that, in fact, maybe there was some big seller that, in fact, happened at around that 1 p.m. odd mark. And from there, the stock started moving out. Remember, this is unconfirmed. There was big volumes at that point of time as well. We have ACC as well that's trying to fight back in the last few minutes. But Bharati Airtel has suddenly slipped off the cliff. So just pull up Bharati Airtel. It was as is down closer around 0.4%. Now Bharati Airtel has moved to the low point of the day. We have Kane India as well. That's struggling in the last few minutes. So both those two stocks not doing well. But the reason that the Nifty is not able to get up and going is because of ICICI Bank. Take a look at that stock yet again. It started moving to the low point of the day.
Well, Gaurang, let me bring you in because we will get some commentary from Mr. Goenka in just a minute from now. How have you viewed this entire, diesel episode? I think actually he's speaking. So let's hear him and then we'll come to you on my M&M.
Mahindra, as we just did the pre-launch for our new vehicle KUV 100. And on this day, I really did not want to talk too much about the situation that we have in Delhi, but I know that a lot of you are very keen to know about our views on this. So I thought we'll spend some time talking about it. Few things that are very clear that I have talked about personally about a week ago on 12th of December, that there is no doubt that there is a serious air quality problem in Delhi. Nobody can take that away. That's the ground reality today. There is no doubt that urgent action is required to resolve that problem. It will not just happen, go away. It will not just go away. There is no doubt that this will not happen without enduring some pain. The pain will have to be endured by residents of Delhi. The pain will have to be endured by consumers of products and services. The pain will have to be endured by suppliers of products and services. And the pain will have to be endured by the dealers of products. So one cannot wish the problem away. One cannot say that all of this will happen. Somebody else will take responsibility. I will not, we will not, or my industry will not. So it has to be a common holistic approach that one will have to do. Supreme Court has given its decision on 16th of December as an interim decision, and the Honorable Court has taken certain actions that they have talked about till 31st March. And on that basis, the hope is that there will be some improvement in Delhi's air quality, and we do hope that the actions that have been outlined by the Honorable Court will make immediate impact on Delhi air quality problem. Now, this decision supersedes everything else that has been talked about on the subject, so that is behind us now, and we have to move forward rather than worrying about rights and wrongs and what should have been done, not should have been done. There are lots of opinions on that. It's also known that Supreme Court is going to be hearing the case again on 5th of January when it comes back from the winter holiday. And at that time, I would hope that a larger discussion will happen on the issues involved and on the solutions that we could have. And I would hope that the industry would also get a fair opportunity to represent their view. All the industry, not just the auto industry, but auto industry, construction industry, power industry, will have to have, will be able to express their views. And a court based on the data, scientific data that will be presented to the court would take a longer-term view on how to resolve the Delhi air quality problem. But I'm sure that the court will have to take some very strong measures to resolve the problems that we have for air quality in Delhi. What I've been amused with in the last couple of days, I have done a lot of TV viewing in the last couple of days, more than what I normally do. But what I've been amused with is that there are a lot of experts who have suddenly surfaced, who seem to know all about diesel, petrol, air pollution, health effects and everything. Some shows that I have watched is now beginning to blame diesel for everything. It's like Chinese whispers. One show even blamed diesel for CO2 emission being higher than petrol. One show talked about hydrocarbon emission being higher in diesel than petrol. One show even talked about the BS4 are not being implemented because the automakers are not ready. The fact is that we've been ready for more than 2 years, the fuel is not available. So there are all kinds of allegations that are being made on diesel today, because that is the favorite whipping boy. Everybody is on the bandwagon. And clearly, as I have said, Delhi problem is a serious problem. We need to resolve the problem that there is no doubt about. But I hope that we do not make it an emotive issue. Because if we just make an emotive issue, we will make the wrong decisions, we will put the wrong priorities. It's very important that we look at scientific data, we look at the reality that we have, we take an example from other cities where similar problems have been faced and come to the right conclusion, whatever that might be. If that means banning diesel vehicles, so be it. But we have to be based on data and not based on emotive statements that are being made in dozens today by almost everybody on TV channels. The industry, for its own part, auto industry that is, has been consistently and faithfully meeting all the all the laws of the land. We are producing vehicles that meet the requirements that have been set out by the regulations, and if the regulations change, either by Supreme Court ruling or by change of regulation, obviously the industry will work to meet those regulations, whatever that might be, however difficult that might be, however impossible they may sound at a given point of time. But there clearly are technical limits that one cannot go beyond. We have to keep in mind that there are technical limits. One have to keep in mind the time requirements to do certain things, and we cannot wish that away. Just like we cannot wish away the air quality problem of Delhi, we cannot wish away the fact that there is a physics that one has to live with. Physics cannot change. There is a time requirement that one has to live with that cannot be wished that suddenly something will happen with snap of a finger. So these are things that we need to be careful about as we move forward, and I hope that all this euphoria that is there today will die down, and we will come to a point where, based on scientific data, the next step is talked about. One of the very important thing in this is the IIT Kanpur report that was commissioned by Government of Delhi. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, it has not yet been formally released. It's very important that before the next steps are taken, this report is available to all of us to be able to study it, draw conclusions, and make recommendations based on that. The industry right now is looking to see, collect all the information, collect all the data, and when the court reconvene, hopefully be able to go back and present its case to the honorable court. Coming to Mahindra, as many of you have already written, that Mahindra perhaps is the most affected by the short-term or the intermediate Supreme Court ruling. That's a fact, because we do make the most above 2,000 cc vehicles, SUVs, diesel-driven, and therefore we clearly are, I don't know about most, but we certainly are among the more affected automakers than anyone else, that there's no doubt about. But our immediate effect, our immediate priority that we have in the situation that we have today is to take care of our customers and dealers. Our customers who have already ordered some of these vehicles, maybe have paid advance money to buy these vehicles, how to take care of them in terms of refunding the advance where needed, or giving them different offers, different options of vehicle. As you know that we have the TUV 300 available, which meets the requirement of sub 2 liter engine. We have just announced our KUV 100, which will be available for sale starting 15th of January in Delhi and all parts of India. And we have other products like Burrito that can be purchased in place of the vehicles that may have been booked, which now are banned for registration from Delhi. For our dealers, they have a year-end stock. Timing-wise, you know that at the end of the year, a lot of incentives are given to customers to clear all the current year stock. So they obviously have a lot of stock right now. About 1,000 vehicles in the NCR region are the vehicles that come under the category of above 2,000. We are right now working, our whole team is working on how to take these vehicles out of NCR area to other adjoining areas and sell them in areas outside NCR. We obviously have to replenish these stocks with vehicles that I talked about, the TUV 300, the KUV 100 when it comes out, and we will be doing that very aggressively. What we are also looking beyond this immediate problem, which is a short-term 10-day, 12-day problem, is to see how do we align with the direction given by the Honorable Court. What can we do to our products to meet the requirements that the court has laid out? But more importantly, more importantly, and this is very important for us, that we are already on our way, not because of the Ford decision, but there's a strategy that we have done, and you're all aware of it. We are already on our way to have a fairly strong product petrol portfolio. Today we announced launch of our first ground-up petrol engine. Just happens to be a coincidence. It happened 3 or 4 days after the court ruling. But today we announced the launch of our 1.2-liter petrol engine. We have more petrol engine in the pipeline. We are currently working on XUV and Scorpio, both in petrol versions. It will not happen tomorrow. It will take some time. But it will come out sooner than later in terms of these products being available in the petrol form. But the customers would buy a SUV of that size in petrol engine, I do not know. The reason we don't sell them here in India is because customers don't buy them. If customers bought them, we'll be selling them. So we have to wait and see whether customers would accept 2-liter or 2.5-liter of that size petrol engine in these vehicles, because SUVs are synonymous with diesel vehicle, because that's the fun of driving that SUV buyers are looking for. But anyways, we will have petrol option available in most of our products within medium term. It cannot happen in a couple of months. It will take time, but it is in medium term. And we are kind of happy or relieved that we had already started that process of creating petrol lineup for our vehicles for future. The third thing that perhaps is unique for Mahindra, and it's an opportunity for us in some ways, is our electric vehicle program. We are the only company, as you know, in India today that makes four-wheel electrical vehicles. We have been struggling, frankly, for the last 4 years to get electrical vehicles accepted because of the high cost that electrical vehicles have. But maybe because of the current situation that we have, the government of India will come forward and incentivize electric vehicles more, because frankly, that's the best way to clean Delhi in air, or any other city in the world for that matter, because that's the only zero-emission vehicle. Any other fossil fuel-driven vehicle, one fuel will have higher emission for something else will have higher emission for something else. When you keep arguing which is better, which is worse, doesn't matter. But nobody can argue the electric vehicles are not the best vehicles. Cannot argue that they are not the best vehicle for the environment. So I would hope, and that's an opportunity for Mahindra, that the current situation, the current focus that's there on air quality, there will be focus and incentivization of electrical vehicles. So on that happy note, I would like to end my comments, and will be happy to take any questions that any of you may have.
If you can take us through your, I know you touched upon it, but if you just elaborate on what is your immediate plan for the next few months to ensure that there are sales that happen out of the Delhi showroom. You said Verito, one of the
Yeah, see, Delhi accounts for about 2%, or NCR I should say, accounts for about 2% of our overall vehicle sales, including commercial vehicles. Okay. That means 2% of the vehicles that we sell, which is roughly about 45,000 vehicles in a month, 2% are sold in NCR area, which are more than 2-liter diesel passenger vehicles. Okay. So the volume under threat, if nothing else happens, is 2% of total volume, right? The saving grace for us is that we have the TUV 300, which is doing quite well in Delhi. We are selling about 400 TUV 300 we're selling in Delhi, which is same number as Scorpio and XUV. We would think that many of the people who want a SUV and would have otherwise preferred Scorpio will switch over to TUV 300, because that's a vehicle that can be sold and registered in Delhi, and where Scorpio cannot be, at least for now, sold or registered in Delhi. We do not know what the call will be after 31st March. It could be that the ban will be removed. It could be that the ban will continue. It could be that the ban will be strengthened. We don't know that. But assuming for the time being that it remains the same, we would think that some of the 2% vehicle will move to TUV 300. But to us, the big opportunity also is the KUV 100, which will go on sale from 15th of January. And therefore, that will give us additional volume.
Okay, so it's all about the KUV 100. He's saying it's a coincidence. We didn't time it with the court order. We are not doing this launch just because there's a unfavorable court verdict from the Supreme Court. But basically, Mr. Mahindra, again, reiterating the numbers, and this we know because they issued this in a press release as well, that only 2% of their monthly sales have been impacted by the diesel ban in Delhi, which is, of course, on vehicles which are over 2,000 cc. And, of course, saying that this will also give the company an opportunity to scale up its electric portfolio. Those are some of the key takeaways from that press conference. With that,